This year, I asked our team to really not ask us how SCAG has changed, but ask others, our partners, people we work with, what do they think of SCAG and how did it change over the years? And I thought that's more powerful, and I made it clear to our friends who's taking the video that this should be unsolicited, be just simply tell us what you think of the agency.
SCAG was not what you would say would be our best friend. Lots of mandates, lots of crazy ideas, odd planning. In fact, when I came on at the Business Council, I kind of had an idea of mind of doing the research to figure out how to get rid of SCAG.
There was a time when I called SCAG the Southern California Association of Gridlock, because at the time it was focused almost entirely on the regional automotive network that binds Southern California together.
I come from San Bernardino County, and San Bernardino County, along with Riverside, was deciding whether they wanted to continue to be members of SCAG or form their own NPO. As a result of the change in leadership and the emphasis on communicating more with and collaborating with our regions, that feeling has gone away.
Force of Change was something that I initiated along with the help of our new Executive Director, Hassan Akrada, and certainly the team of individuals that worked with me. And it was all about reinventing SCAG, making sure that SCAG met the needs of our constituents.
You know, the Force for Change was a wonderful starting point on, again, getting SCAG on the right track to help us become more relevant.
I think SCAG is now emerging as a real force for change in Southern California. It's taking a leadership role to say, this is the kind of growth we have to have in the future to be sustainable. This is the kind of policies that we need to see in our different communities. So SCAG is turning into a real force of change, and it's a very positive force of change.
Well, I've been meeting with SCAG on at least a monthly basis for more than 10 years. First as CEO in Orange County and now in Los Angeles. During this time, I've learned that we have a very important relationship with SCAG, and I've really appreciated the last couple of years the change at SCAG. Much more collegial, much more consensus-based, much more open to input from the other counties. That's very important.
In the last 4 or 5 years, there's been a tremendous change, I think due to the leadership at SCAG, both in more active involvement of elected officials, as well as the leadership of Hassan Akrada, who has made it one of his primary objectives to be a partner with each of the commissions, in my case as our Council of Governments. And it is that understanding that we know SCAG is there to be a partner with us that makes us work better together and I think achieve results.
Having a staff person directly in Imperial County, that's a huge difference for us. And I see that with the other sub-regions and that dedicated staff. I think this is something that SCAG has been working on over the last few years, and it's certainly crucial for us here in the region.
The other thing that I think that they have done extremely well is they have started to become, for the first time, the forum for business, nonprofits, and government to interact. That's something that's a challenge in as large a region as we have, but they have performed it very well.
When you're operating an agency as large as the Southern California Association of Governments, you have to be collaborative. I mean, the board is huge. There are tremendous issues facing this region, and so a collaborative approach is absolutely the way to do business. And I think Hassan Akrada demonstrates that day to day. He is a very collaborative person. He's easy to work with. He wants to help. I'm a big fan of Hassan Akrada.
SCAG has always been a great organization, but there's a new energy now, and I think there's a sense of reaching out to the communities even more than in the past. So I hate to say the new SCAG, but it is a new SCAG, and it's a direction that's doing very well. It's a direction that I'm hearing great things about when I'm in the community talking about SCAG.
I think our relationship with the Southern California Association of Governments continues to evolve and grow, and really grow in a more positive sense. The fact that we're working together, that we're trying to figure out how we influence the next transportation bill that the nation's going to do, the fact that we work as a forum where we can bring the mayor of Los Angeles together with the mayor of San Diego and the mayor of Anaheim, that's where our strength is at.
What are the most important changes that SCAG has gone through in the last, say, 5 to 10 years? I think first and foremost is that they have understood and mastered the art of working with legislators like myself. I think back in the day there used to be a very contentious relationship, that whatever came out of Sacramento was spinach, and all you could do was to say, don't eat your spinach and throw it away. But I think what we have now is a great spirit of cooperation that I think is very rare.
Areas where SCAG can help us in going forward with our programs and projects and trying to address all of the different issues we're addressing is to help identify ways that we can streamline process. Streamline the administrative steps that must be followed in order to be able to move forward with projects. It's a pretty cumbersome process. It's the result of many state and federal mandates, and there are a lot of efforts underway at the state and federal levels to try and recognize that we've placed so much administrative burden on projects and processes that it's costing us too much money and taking too much time. So I think that's an area where SCAG could really step in and be helpful for all of its member agencies, is in helping us kind of raise the profile of that issue, both in Sacramento as well as in Washington, D.C.
As one of the communities on the edge of the SCAG region, we've often questioned whether SCAG has relevance with its downtown LA headquarters. But today, with the economic challenges facing our region and the need to be globally competitive, we have to act as a region. And so the Southern California Association of Governments is really at the heart of us returning to global competitiveness in our economy by solving our transportation woes, by focusing on all modes of transportation, not just the car.
The biggest challenges for SCAG in the next 2 years will be implementing the SB 375, the new land use rules, implementing AB 32, global warming solutions in a state where not everyone is connected to the goals of that, plus the lack of funding in which to do that implementation. Both SCAG's internal resources aren't there, in addition to the resources that you might expect for transportation, for new housing, for infrastructure in water, sewer, air quality improvements. The resources aren't there, and yet SCAG is required to help meet mandated timeframes to implement set goals. It's going to be an extremely difficult next couple of years, but your business community is there to work with you and challenge toward that success. Forge ahead.
If there's one thing that has really made a difference, in my opinion, about SB 375 is that all the large urban areas of California, we are truly working closer together. We're sharing ideas. We're trying to standardize how we measure things. And quite frankly, at the end of the day, we're going to be better for it. We're going to be more cost effective. So even though many people might hate SB 375, it has had the effect of bringing us closer together to work better.
Clearly, I did not know what SCAG was before, and now a year into my undergraduate education, I'm inspired to pursue a minor in urban planning. I definitely want to be a positive impact in my community.
I definitely see myself visiting SCAG, whether it be the internet, their website, or possibly looking into some sort of internship with them because I think they play a big role in Southern California and what's happening with planning in the area.
If I work for a local city, going for them for training, whether it's GIS or working with them on their regional projections for population growth, employment, or even working for SCAG. They do a lot of really important work for the region.
In the last few years, it seems SCAG is focusing on being a resource for cities. Rather than trying to tell them what to do, they're trying to assist them in the directions that they're going in. I think the cities are becoming more receptive to that because of the financial change that we see, where the money now regionally is coming in and up rather than down and out. So I think cities are quite interested in redefining themselves and looking at themselves in a regional context. So I think SCAG is becoming more important in that regard.
For SCAG to be truly successful, we have to continue to move down the path in a collaborative way with all of our constituency groups, from our residents to our local governments, to the state government, as well as the environmental community and the business community. We won't be successful unless all of those constituency groups come along with us and help work with us to help solve the problems that our state's going to be facing.
We're going to have wide opinions because we're a region that is rich. We're a region that's rich with culture, that's rich with people, rich with energy, and because of that, a ton of opinions. But here at SCAG, this is our forum. This is where we can come together. We represent our cities. We work together because our goal is the same. Our goal is to create an economically vital, sustainable Southern California, a place where there are cities, towns, neighborhoods throughout the region where people want to live, work, play, and just celebrate life. We have the ability to do that for our region, to come together for our region, working together. The road may be bumpy along the way, I'm sure of that, but I have confidence in the people of SCAG, our staff, their capacity, our regional council members working together. It's going to be an exciting year.